She took my kids at 4:12 a.m. No fight. No message. No trace. Just 2 empty beds and a silence that felt planned. Tell me honestly, if your wife erased you overnight, would you chase her, or stay quiet and watch? I didn't chase. I stayed quiet. And if you understand what silent revenge feels like, subscribe, because this story isn't about anger. It's about patience. Now answer this. Would you expose her immediately, or wait until she destroys herself? I chose to wait. And that decision changed everything. Her name is Elena. The woman I trusted more than anyone. We had 2 kids. Noah and Sophie. They were my entire world. And in one morning, they became my greatest weakness. Everyone said the same thing. She left you. She found someone else. Move on. But something didn't feel right. Elena wasn't emotional. She was careful. Controlled. Precise. She didn't act suddenly. She planned things. So I didn't report her missing. I didn't panic. Because panic makes noise, and noise hides the truth. Instead, I checked something people always forget. Our shared cloud storage. Old files. Hidden backups. That's where I found it. A locked folder. Dated 3 months ago. One word. Departure. Not escape. Not leaving. Departure. Planned. Cold. So I opened it. And the first line changed everything. Subject must not suspect until phase 3. I wasn't a husband anymore. I was part of a plan. And I needed to know who wrote it. I didn't react immediately. Some truths require distance before they can be understood. So I watched. Quietly. Carefully. Elena's past started making sense in ways I had ignored before. Late calls. Silent messages. Sudden trips. I had trusted her. That was my mistake. So I revisited everything. Emails. Backups. Old chats. Patterns began to appear. She wasn't hiding emotions. She was hiding coordination. Then I saw a name. Daniel. It appeared again and again. Short messages. No details. Just timing. That told me everything. This wasn't emotional. It was structured. So I tracked locations tied to those timestamps. One place repeated. Always the same. Outside the city. Quiet. Private. I went there. Slowly. Carefully. I didn't rush. I didn't confront. Because confrontation ends games too early. And I wasn't ready to end this yet. I saw the house. Not large. Not small. Just temporary. Like something built to disappear. And then I saw them. Elena. My kids. And a man standing beside her. Calm. Confident. Comfortable. Daniel. They didn't look scared. They looked settled. That hurt more than anything. I stayed hidden. Because now I understood something important. They didn't run from danger. They walked into something else. And I needed to understand what that something was. I followed them that night. Not too close. Just enough to observe. They drove like people who knew exactly where they belonged. No hesitation. No fear. That told me everything. This wasn't temporary. This was their new life. I watched from a distance as they entered a different house. Bigger. Cleaner. More permanent. Daniel opened the door. Elena didn't hesitate. She walked in like she belonged there. My kids followed. Laughing. Comfortable. That moment stayed with me. Not because I lost them. But because they didn't look lost at all. That changed my perspective. This wasn't about chasing them back. This was about understanding why they left. So I went deeper. Financial records. Transfers. hidden accounts. And that's when I found the truth. Everything we owned had already been moved. Legally. Signed. Verified. Completed. By me. Except I never signed anything. Or at least I didn't realize I had. Then it hit me. Months ago. Papers Elena asked me to sign. Small things. Routine things. I trusted her. That trust became her weapon. She didn't just leave me. She replaced me. Legally. Financially. Completely. And Daniel wasn't just helping her. He was controlling the entire process. This wasn't betrayal. This was strategy. And I was the only one who didn't see it coming. But now. I was finally awake. I didn't confront them. Not yet. Because emotion would destroy everything I needed to build. So I stepped back. I let them feel safe. Comfortable. Untouchable. That was important. People only make mistakes when they feel secure. So I studied Daniel instead. His movements. His network. His finances. And slowly, his real identity began to surface. He wasn't just a man. He was a system. Multiple names. Multiple companies. Everything layered. Hidden. Protected. And Elena. She wasn't his partner. She was one of many. That realization changed everything. Because suddenly, I wasn't just dealing with betrayal. I was dealing with a pattern. And patterns can be broken. I found a contract. Hidden deep inside the same folder Elena created. And that contract revealed the truth. She signed control over everything. Assets. Movement. Decisions. Even the future of the children. That's when I understood something terrifying. Elena didn't win. She traded one life for another. And she didn't even realize she lost control. Daniel didn't help her escape. He absorbed her. And now she was inside his system. Just like everyone else. That's when my anger disappeared. Because this was no longer emotional. This was strategic. And strategy requires patience. So I made my decision. I wouldn't destroy them immediately. I would enter their world first. And then take everything from the inside. I had one advantage they didn't know about. A separate account. Hidden. Untouched. Elena never found it. Because I never told her it existed. That account was connected to something bigger. A company. One I built quietly years ago. It wasn't large. But it was enough. Enough to enter Daniel's world. So I started investing. Slowly. Carefully. Small entries into his network. Nothing noticeable. Nothing suspicious. Just enough to exist inside his system. Weeks passed. Then months. And finally, I got what I wanted. An invitation. A meeting. An opportunity to sit across from him. He didn't recognize me. Of course he didn't. To him, I was just another investor. That was perfect. Because now, I wasn't chasing him. I was becoming part of him. And once you are inside the system, you don't break it. You control it. Daniel spoke like a man who believed in control. Everything he said confirmed what I already knew. People were assets to him. Emotions were weaknesses. Elena wasn't special. She was just another acquisition. That made my next move easier. I invested more. Enough to gain influence. Enough to access deeper layers. And he accepted without hesitation. Because greed always opens doors. Slowly, I gained control over parts of his network. Accounts. Deals. Connections. And he never noticed. Because I didn't disrupt anything. I improved it. That's how you earn trust. That's how you become invisible. Until one day, you're not. And when that day comes, it's already too late for them. I saw Elena again. But something had changed. She wasn't relaxed anymore. She looked careful. Controlled. Like she was starting to understand. But she was too deep inside to leave. Daniel had already locked everything. That's when I made my next move. I didn't confront her. I sent a message. Simple. Direct. Check clause 7. No name. No explanation. Just truth. And it worked. Because days later, everything shifted. She started resisting. Quietly. Carefully. And Daniel noticed. Tension grew. Exactly what I needed. Because while they were breaking, I was removing everything beneath them. The collapse started small. Delayed payments. Failed deals. Nothing obvious. Just enough to create doubt. Daniel blamed others. Not me. That was his mistake. Because I was already inside everything. And when the system started failing, he had nowhere to look. Elena grew more unstable. She realized she had traded one cage for another. But there was no escape. Not anymore. Because by then, everything was already under my control. The final meeting felt different. Heavy. Quiet. Daniel wasn't confident anymore. He was searching for answers. Then Elena walked in. Uninvited. Unafraid. She looked at him, then at me. And said something that ended everything. He's here. Daniel turned. Looked at me. And finally understood. No anger. No panic. Just realization. And I smiled. Because this wasn't revenge. This was completion. I didn't destroy him. I took everything. Legally. Completely. And left him exactly how he left others. Elena didn't run this time. She stayed. Watching everything collapse. Watching me take control. She finally understood the truth. She didn't escape me. She walked into something worse. The kids were safe. That was all that mattered. Everything else didn't. She tried to explain. Regret. Fear. Manipulation. But I didn't need answers anymore. I already knew the truth. She made a choice. And choices have consequences. I didn't take her back. I didn't destroy her either. I left her with something worse. Awareness. Because in the end, revenge isn't loud. It isn't violent. It's quiet. Controlled. And when it's done right, you don't chase people. You let them realize they were never in control.